What's up? It's your boy Demo Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching What If Goku Was in DC Part 14. Yes, sir. The last one, Goku and Superboy met up, and Goku found out about the heart virus. So we gotta see what's going on, and let's get into. Oh, shout out to the Geek for Fun, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let go.
Your heart, a virus. You're dying. I'm so sorry, Kakarot. The virus is feeding and overloading your body's cells that process ki. Apoptosis has begun. Cell death. Your own strength is killing you, bursting your heart from within. Generous estimates would give you 5 years to live if you ceased all physical activity. And with your new power, Super Saiyan, it's speeding up the process exponentially. I swear to you, I will dedicate every breath I take to finding a cure. But I just don't know if I can. You should try to find some peace and put your affairs in order. Spend as much time with that boy as you can.
Kakarot took the somber news with a quiet grace. He was still saddened at the revelation of his impending doom, but you wouldn't know it to look at him. The Saiyan seemed to shrug off the diagnosis, confident in the ability of Dr. Quintum to find a cure for this heart virus. He just got back home after some time, so he wanted to focus on that. So, Kakarot caught back up with Diana and Superboy.
Thank Hera for your good health and return, old friend. Let's get back home. I can't wait to inform everyone in the League that you're alright.
Yeah, sure.
The three stepped into the Lunar Labs teleporter and were transmitted down to Metropolis. Superboy bid them a goodbye and flew off in a separate direction from Kakarot and Diana. The Amazon, however, noticed a unique look on her friend's face.
You look troubled. What leaves your spirit in unrest?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Just thinking about that kid. How strong do you think he is?
From the legends Vegeta's told me, that golden form is quite astounding. But you've accessed it yourself. Shouldn't you know?
Huh? Vegeta knows about Super Saiyans? Neat! I'm not sure about the little guy. I was on the farm and I just felt this incredible power from the moon. Couldn't help myself but to check it out. Hold up a sec. I'ma go ask him.
In a crackle of violet light, Kakarot disappeared through a portal generated in front of himself. Wonder Woman nearly got whiplash from the shock of her friend vanishing so quickly. A similar sensation overcame Superboy as the martial artist emerged from a portal next to him.
Hey, just wondering. How strong are you exactly?
Pardon?
Like if you were to go all out, how strong are you?
Well, Father's calculations estimate that the upper limits of my energy would be capable of eliminating a solar system. But I'd never do anything like that.
Wow, that's pretty strong. Okay, bye.
In another flash of violet energy, Kakarot floated backwards through a new portal, this time appearing behind Wonder Woman, who was still hovering in the air, trying to figure out where the Saiyan had gotten off to.
Gah!
He said he could wipe out a solar system! That's so cool! Hey Diana, what exactly is a solar system?
I understand you've mastered this new violet rift power, but could you please let me know when you're going to use it? And a solar system would be a star and any planets that surround it.
Oh! Man, if I was that strong back when I was his age, could you imagine where I'd be now?
The two warriors continued to coast through the sky, Kakarot zipping ahead of Wonder Woman. That wasn't anything new. He always seemed to be competing when the League flew together. But there was normally an element of joy to it. He simply continued in a straight line, his head turning back in the direction Superboy flew off in at various points. His mind was wandering, preoccupied on something else. Diana could see in how he carried himself. He clearly was going along with her out of a feeling of obligation. She knew the League could wait to see their friend again. He needed something else right now.
Kakarot, that boy, he is so young. Would you put my mind at ease and just make sure he makes it home okay?
Oh, sure. Bye, Diana.
Hola, old friend.
Wait, I almost forgot. Have you heard anything about another Saiyan showing up? Really tall? Ultra strong?
Another lives? I'm afraid I have not. Should we prepare for an attack?
Nah, Broly's really nice. He ain't like the others. Guess he changed his mind about coming here. Well.
Oh, you'll have the fucking
I bet
Broly.
we'll get to fight someday. I know it. Thanks again, Diana.
Diana felt relieved as her friend vanished in a burst of violence. She'd been concerned that his time away may have changed him. But sure enough, Kakarot was still the same friend she cherished. Hopefully, the same will be able to learn more about Luther and the mysterious boy in his employ.
Hi again. Woo, you fly pretty fast.
How do you even keep finding my exact location?
Oh, well, my Violet Rip lets me go to anything I love. I love fighting tougher opponents, so I guess I can't help myself by focusing on them.
I see. That's an interesting limitation. Now, if you excuse me, I really do have to go.
Mind if I come with you? Been a while since I've seen Lex. I hear he's one of those money-face guys now.
Technically, you're not wrong. Okay, follow me.
The two leisurely flew over Metropolis. This time, Kakarot seemed to have regained the joy in his flight, circling among clouds and waving to the terrified populace, who looked to see their local hillbilly very much alive. Kakarot would also try to engage in mini races with Superboy, but the young hero remained stoic, not paying much attention to Kakarot's antics, aside from a raised eyebrow here or there.
So, why are you still a Super Saiyan?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, I don't normally want to stay in it all the time. It's pretty taxing on your body. You probably wouldn't have gotten so tired back on the moon if you managed your stamina better.
Father manages my replenishments. This is the way I was trained. Now please, let's just fly.
Lex, huh? I thought he was way smarter than that.
Don't insult him.
Oh, shit.
For the last time, move on.
Kakarot simply shrugged his shoulders. Eventually, they arrived at the LexCorp branch in Metropolis. Superboy walking Kakarot through the sterile and minimalist environment before arriving at a retinal scanner in the back of the lobby, which connected him to a secure line with the acting CEO of the company, Mercy Graves.
Miss Graves? Is subject GO011152213477. I'm requesting permission to contact President Superman and inform him of the success of my mission.
Success? I hardly think Mr. Luthor would call such a disaster success. Regardless, he's currently busy dealing with the fallout from your escapades.
Oh, shit.
And doesn't have time for your excuses.
But...
The device ended the call abruptly, leaving the distraught Superboy to stand silently as security arrived to escort him and Kakarot out of the lobby.
Nigga, bust through that motherfucker.
Hey geeks, I hope you're enjoying the video, but if you really want to help support the channel, head on over and fly onto a nearby rooftop in order to... The two Saiyans had flown onto a nearby rooftop in order to get away from any civilians crowding them on the street. The younger of the two was curled up, his head rested against his knees, unsure about what to do, or what he even deserved to do, now that he couldn't get reassurance from his father.
They kicked you out of your house? So where are you even gonna sleep?
It's fine. This isn't the first time this has happened. I'll just stay on patrol all night again.
I remember when I used to go patrol. I was really bad at it, honestly. I would keep getting lost and never find any crime. That's why my friend Lois would always take me to the Daily Planet. They've got all the news there. Oh, I bet Jimmy has a ton of funny stories to tell me when I was gone. We should go there.
Okay, sure.
The hero and the martial artist made their way across town to the Daily Planet. Kakarot's casual method of walking into the building causing quite a shock from across the office.
Listen, I don't care how many people saw him. I need proof. Hard news requires photographs. Otherwise, he may as well be Elvis in the Bahamas.
Yo, Chief.
Olsen, get your camera.
Lois Lane and Jenny Olsen were not able to believe their eyes at the sight of Kakarot, the pair rushing to hug the Saiyan.
Hey, Jimmy. Your hair got really long.
It's Jenny now. I'm a girl.
Huh? But you have a...
Some girls do.
Oh. Neat.
You're so cool.
Meat sacks! My morning list of demands is prepared!
Time after time.
Agent Orange had been waiting months, certain that his Saiyan would return. But the revelation of seeing him in that moment stunned the poor Lantern into silence. Something the rest of the Daily Planet crew found quite refreshing. Almost immediately, the room burst into conversation as Lois diligently took notes on every detail Kakarot rattled off about his time and space. In a burst of inspiration, however, Jenny grabbed Kakarot by the arm and insisted they interview him for the podcast. Larfleeze following along, trying to act cool.
What?
This, however, left Superboy alone with the one threat Lex had cautioned him to never take lightly. The one person on Earth Luthor respected. Lois Lane.
So Superboy, what brings you to the planet?
I'm currently on patrol. The Daily Planet is a good resource with fast global information. Or so I'm told.
By Luthor. What does he say about the planet exactly?
No, the president hasn't mentioned it. It was Kakarot Kent.
I see. Not a mention from Lex? He doesn't tell you about his history. Odd.
He tells me everything.
Funny. Then why didn't Daddy tell you about his history with me?
That's...
Don't feel too bad. Daddy hides a lot of things. Like you, for example. 10 years. Keeping a child from the public? Was that difficult to live through?
I was well taken care of for those 10 years.
Don't you mean 11? Daddy said 11 at the inauguration, so which is it?
You said 10, and I...
Right. Where did he find your pod, anyway? What was the date?
I'm not sure. I was so young.
You mean he didn't celebrate that day as your birthday?
I don't have a birthday. I was created over too long a period to narrow it down.
Created? Are you just some kind of monster he grew in a lab? Is that what the Super Saiyan is?
No! I'm a hero! The Super Saiyan! It's the same as Kakarot!
Hold on, little monster. You and your father can co-opt his image, but you'll never be a hero like Kakarot is.
From what I've seen, that isn't saying much. I'm exponentially better suited for the field than he is. And my father, Superman, is the greatest hero of all. His mind can neutralize Kakarot in seconds.
What? No way. Superman doesn't stand a chance against Kakarot.
I don't know. I did knock him out that one time.
Enough! Father is better than all of you! He's better than me! If you think you can handle Father, then you shouldn't have any trouble dealing with me! I want everything you've got! No holding back! Let's go!
This sounds exciting! Let's do it!
Superboy crashed his fist against Kakarot, who quickly raised his arms in a cross block to defend the blow. But the force still sent him tumbling through an open window and out among the skyline of Metropolis. Superboy followed, leaving flickers of golden fire trailing behind him as the Saiyan continued to throw punches towards Kakarot. The martial artist smiled as he felt the sting of the Super Saiyan's punches through his block, smacking him around like a ragdoll. Superboy found an opening in Kakarot's guard, kicking it open with a sudden knee, then launching a devastating right towards Kakarot's cheek. However, the punch had no impact, as the confused Superboy continued to throw punches, only for each of them to feel weightless. Kakarot smiled as he pulled his head back to face the boy. He had been twisting his head at the moment of impact, diffusing any power from the blows as they flowed harmlessly against his cheek. Superboy realized that the gap in experience was serving to neutralize the power disadvantage at close range, so opted to fall back, firing a volley of ki blasts as he moved away. The fighter quickly pulled his staff from its sheath and smacked away each blast with incredible accuracy. However, their raw power was more than Kakarot could handle in his base form, and eventually, he was unable to smack away one of the larger blasts, launching his staff into the air and leaving him open from above, which Superboy capitalized on, and slammed his knee into the older Saiyan's face. Kakarot plummeted to the ground, but before he could impact, the hero appeared in front of him with lightning speed, throwing a sharp uppercut into Kakarot's gut that propelled him back into the air.
Fucked up.
The pain surging through the warrior's body was proof that the boy had the goods, and with a smile, Kakarot intercepted Superboy's attempt at a follow-through by erupting into his wrath state. Caught off guard by a form he'd never seen before, Kakarot took the chance to pelt Superboy with a rapid succession of pressure point blows on the boy's arm, leaving the out-of-his-depth hero to desperately try and flail with his now numb arm against the calm Kakarot. He was getting even more frustrated now, and as the boy's frustration grew, so did his speed and power, until a sudden burst in his aura allowed Superboy the speed to catch a shocked Kakarot with a devastating kick to the temple, sending him flying into the Daily Planet globe. The Saiyan rubbed his head as Superboy dashed towards him, recklessly throwing wide punches with his good arm that Kakarot slipped and countered with two of his own for each Superboy throw. The amount of exertion and the pinpoint damage being piled on by the martial artist was draining Superboy's engine.
Stop dodging!
Superboy fired a giant blast in his fury, but Kakarot responded by focusing his energy, creating a portal directly between himself and the blast.
Violet Rift!
The blast entered the rupture in space-time, and then to Superboy's shock, exited through another, placed behind the hero, crashing against the Saiyan's back and singeing his cape. Kakarot could tell that this fight was done. As impressed as he had been with Superboy's raw power, this had shown that the boy really didn't have any foundation in martial arts, at least of the caliber Kakarot cared about. The temper of the kid also didn't help things.
Alright, I've seen enough. Let's stop before this gets out of hand. You did a good job.
And he said, fuck all that.
Father said you were soft. Well, that's not gonna be enough, because I will never stop fighting!
Alright then. You're strong, but you don't know what you're doing. I know how hard it can be to lose a fight, but sometimes you just have to know when you're beat.
The Super Saiyan appeared in front of the hero in an instant, and ripped the consciousness from his body with a single blow. The boy began to fall to the earth, but Kakarot caught his small frame in his arms, only now noticing just how frail the boy looked. This fight had been mostly to satiate his own curiosity, but now he realized it had shown him something a lot more important. This small Saiyan, with the power to destroy solar systems, needed guidance, or he'd just destroy himself.
Right.
He could tell the Shiva had moved on from his small farm. They'd have to fly.
It wouldn't really be comfortable for you if I carried you the whole way there. Huh. Oh, I know! Cloud Somersault!
There was a brief period of silence, where Kakarot became slightly worried that in his time away, the other gift of fate had either been hurt, or simply abandoned him for leaving it alone for such a long time. But those worries were misplaced, as the mystical item arrived to his call, as it always would. For there is nothing more certain than knowing there will always be a cloud in the sky when you need it. Kakarot placed the boy on it gently and flew beside it as the three journeyed to the west.
Okay. Oh shit.
Are you just some kind of monster he grew in a lab?
Superboy's aura flared out and flipped the small card table in the Kent Farm living room. His burst of ki would have sent other furniture in the room soaring as well, but Kakarot Kent didn't have that much furniture. At the sound of the boys waking, Kakarot came rushing into the living room and placed a large plate of bacon down in front of the boy.
Here you go. Food always helps after a fight. Notice you're still transformed. Even when you were sleeping. You can't turn it off, can you?
Superboy looked down in shame. His anger passed now. He hated that it was so hard for him. That he had any trouble being the way his father wanted him to be. The strongest, most brutal warrior ever. But the fight with Kakarot in Metropolis had shown him that his father's ideas of power were flawed.
Yes, but I'm not supposed to need to. Father's calculations say I can maintain it without end.
Kakarot looked at the boy with concern. He wanted to help, but wasn't sure how he could. The martial artist opened his mouth to speak, but a sudden rumble reverberated throughout the small house. It was as if an earthquake was hitting Kansas. The rumbling was accompanied by a massive shadow which loomed over the house and extended further and further out into the field. The two ran outside to see what was happening, only to be greeted by the sight of a mighty white tree with blue leaves growing in the backyard.
Oh.
What's happening?
No way! Did this happen everywhere I planted them?
Yes.
From galaxies away, the living planet spoke to its pupil. The seeds Kakarot had taken from Mogo were planted across the universe. The last one buried in the dirt of his farm earlier that morning. And now on Earth existed an alien tree with a direct connection to the sentient world. This was perfect. It was as if Kakarot had made a wish and the universe had granted it for him. Mogo could help Superboy learn to control his power like it had done for him. Kakarot immediately explained his idea to the two of them, but was disappointed by Mogo's response.
I will not train the boy.
Oh, of course. With the distance between the center of your consciousness and here, you must not be able to communicate quickly enough to establish a consistent repertoire.
Indeed, my ability to commune with you would be inadequate. What is your name?
I'm Superboy.
No, silly, your real name.
It's G0011152213477.
That's kind of a lot. Did you maybe have, like, a nickname or something?
Well, you have to promise not to tell anyone. I wouldn't want him to get in trouble.
Sure thing. Who are you talking about?
There was a robot in the facility where I spent most of my time. Father had built him one night in a bored attempt to see if AI could function with a personality unrelated to their work. So he'd make puns. Father didn't like them, but I always found them charming. Well, my subject number happens to share the same number as the serial number, for rice. So the robot thought it would be funny to call me Gohan. It's, Japanese for rice. Hence the joke.
That suits you way more. I had trouble finding my name for a while, too. Nice to meet you, Gohan.
Agreed. Gohan of Earth, I know of only one individual who could possibly help train you to cope with the power you wield. A great master of martial arts.
Awesome, Mo! Who is he so we can meet him?
His name is Kakarot Kent. Only you can train Gohan.
That was a cool little chapter, little chapter. A lot of talking in the back at the end of it, but I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? I like the Goku and Gohan. I mean, the Goku and Superboy fight. And yeah, man. Shout out to the story. Shout out to the Geek for Fun, man. Man, check out the last chapter right here, man. Check out that story right here. But yeah, this shit fire. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.